It'd be a shame if I had to kill you if you said anything.
I told you about killing people, dude.
I want to find out what's underneath that mask.
I'm not wearing a mask. I have fur.
Hello, Guilders, and welcome into Tales of the Riot Nexus, Episode 7, The Great Glitterdust War. I'm Tim of the Wizard. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm super excited to be here with this lovely cast of mine. They're all mine, and you can't have them. We're going to be going, we're going to be diving around on in, but before we do so, let's go around and meet our lovely players. Domino, take us away.
Hey, I'm Domino RBG. My pronouns are he, they, and I'll be playing Cal tonight, whose pronouns are also he, they. Also, everybody wish Timbo a belated happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Timbo!
Thank you.
Didn't see that coming.
No, now my face is red. Next, Rach.
Hello, everybody. I'm RightsQ. I play Lux. Both of our pronouns are she, her.
Excellent. Calm. All right. Beautiful. Next, we have Galaxy.
Hi, I'm Galaxy. My pronouns are they, them. I am playing Kite in the Wind. His pronouns are he, they.
Beautiful. And last but certainly not least, we have Werewolf.
Hi. My name is Werewolf BF. My pronouns are they, them, and I am playing Lance a Little, pronouns he, him.
Perfect. All right. When we last left the Riot Nexus, a whole boatload of stuff had just happened.
Or at least a shark load.
A shark load, yes, indeed.
A whole shark load.
So after their little bit of downtime, the party reconvened back at for the most part, back at the Nimbus. However, a letter had been delivered via a kind of just flying in on its own to Kite's hands from their very own Lance, letting them know that they had been called away, but to not worry, and they would be rejoining them soon. At this point, there was a bunch of the remaining party members had several heart-to-hearts, including Cal confiding the purpose of his voyage to Respite, as well as the egg that he carries in his bag of holding with him. And after that revelation of the Star Lancer egg, Lux went ahead and revealed that she had been tasked by her master to basically spy on the rest of the group and report back to her with any information that might be pertinent. Kite, in this moment, feeling incredibly vulnerable and potentially manipulated, ended up running off, and but right before doing so, encountered a small bug, leaving a note behind, asking to meet at the Shambling Hounds, signed Uglos with a B in front.
It's very important that the bug did a little dance before it flew away.
It did a little bug boogie.
And the bug danced before it flew away. Yes, the very important, very important part. So Kite went off to the Shambling House, just trying to get a little bit of space, feeling unsafe in the Nimbus without his good companion Lance there. Cal ended up trying to follow him, but ended up not being able to do so. Kite casting this guy's self to make him look like a dog instead of his normal feline form. Cal ended up running into the same Pixie gangsters that Kite had ended up running into, and they were not as interested in getting payment and wanted blood from Cal, who did not want anything from them and just fucked off and left them to their devices.
He definitely had a normal encountering them. He was very normal the entire time.
Oh yeah,
totally normal, and definitely not like a what would like a chained dog, like being like I'm thinking about it. Definitely not that. Meanwhile, Lux ended up talking with Helm and having there was a little bit of tension there, but that ended up getting resolved with Lux ended up giving Helm access to their memories if they wanted it. While this was going on, Cal ended up reconvening at the Nimbus, and Helm had read the letter that had been delivered, and they ended up going to the Shambling Hound. Cal went inside, following unbeknownst to them, Kite's trail into the hideout of the Shambling Hounds, which is just called the Bleeding Briar, which is just this huge asteroid, kind of in a centralized area of Valheaven, the asteroid district of Respite, where it has this kind of volcanic shape to it, where there are these high walls going up around it, but at the center of it is this conical opening with trees and foliage and stuff blooming out of it, if it were a volcano, that would where the summit would be, right? Inside it was very green and overgrown, but with a few buildings set up. The leader of the Shambling Hounds, Mad Dog, had wanted to meet with the Riot Nexus, and believing Kite to be a representative of that, ended up taking him into a side room to have a little bit of relaxation. Cal ended up following, and they had a brief conversation through the door as Cal was trying to basically convince Kite to come back to the ship. In the meanwhile, Lux ended up departing from Helm, attempting to find a new vessel to steal, finding a shark, a space shark tied up, from her description, getting aboard it, and flying off into the astral sea, leaving her faithful canine companion behind, Itzel, on the dock.
No.
However, in her attempts to corral the shark, she unfortunately was unable to do so, and it of its own volition flew into the Bleeding Briar, attempting to reunite with its loving owner, Sunshine Eclipse, who, wouldn't you know it, was having a meeting at that very moment with Cal and the leader of the Shambling Hound, Mad Dog. So we cut into just that moment. The space shark known as Bitey has just plummeted through this wall, sending it fractured. Mad Dog has gone head over ass, knocked to the floor. Everybody else, though, Sunshine Eclipse and Cal, with your superhuman-esque gunslinger reflexes, y'all were just able to jump out of the way of this debris, and while being pelted, remain upright against this barrage. Mad Dog was not so lucky, getting hit with a larger piece of plaster and wall, and he's kind of stuck under that right now. Bitey has just moved up and is immediately licking Sunshine Eclipse's face, and kind of playfully but gently biting her arm a little bit. You could see the teeth are digging in, but they're not penetrating or anything like that. You could tell it's kind of loving. And as this is happening, Cal, you are jumping backwards. Go ahead and make me a perception check at disadvantage.
Of course, it's a disadvantage. What a way to just start this session. That's a 9.
9. As you're jumping backwards, you see the silhouette of who can only be described as Lance coming in through the door. We flash back to a few hours ago when Lance was at the Cloud9 bar. Lance, you've just finished your night of relaxation and kind of hanging out in kind of a restaurant or a barscape that is so classic not Belly Mountain, so classic Mem, so classic Cloud9, and you feel like a little bit at being at home in that time, for better or for worse. It kind of dredges up that whole suite of emotions, and it's several hours after that you're heading out. Time doesn't there is a nighttime side of the Founders District of Respite, and there is a daytime side, and you are currently on the nighttime side, which is also the more residential district, and you are heading back to the ship as you get a paper bird delivered to you, and you see on it it's encoded clearly, but it's actually, as you examine it, go ahead and make an insight check.
Insight. Is it encoded in a way that I'd be familiar with?
Yes.
Or I guess Lady's also with me.
Absolutely. And go ahead, and because Lady's with you in this moment, go ahead and take advantage on the insight check. Yes, you also recognize it to be like the Mandelbrot set code.
A 16.
Yeah, you also recognize that in addition to it being encoded in like using basically like Mandelbrot Thieves' Cant, it also is stepped out of time in such a way that you can see the path that the paper bird flew from, right? Like it almost like you can see it if as if like almost like a Tron light cycle, how wherever it goes, it leaves this like light line behind it. You can almost see that path going out behind it as it flew into your hands, and you see that the encoded message is basically a summons to the Dragon's Curve, the headquarters of the Mandelbrot set.
I think Lance is like in a interesting sort of mood because it's like, I was just at a like Cloud 8 joint. That's cool, you know. Home sucks, but whatever. And I think he gets this message and just like crumples up the note. Now that's normal paper, you know, it stops being a bird. And he tosses it and casts a firebolt on it as he'll start to trace the path back through town. And I think just because he's like a cheeky asshole, he'll grab a espresso for him, a couple shots of espresso and a latte as well as he heads out.
Awesome. Yeah. You follow do you follow the path of the paper bird?
Yeah.
Yeah, following the path of the paper bird, it takes you to a little bit of a little bit more ramshackle part of town. You kind of have to go down one or two of the decks of the ship, because despite most of the like surface of the Founders District being like where most of the activity happens, there are like subdecks and lower decks, because it's all kind of these different pieces of Spelljammers that were retrofitted into this now huge space station, right? So there are these kind of lower decks of the Founders District that people usually you don't see a lot of people around, and you don't hear like a lot of talk about those lower districts. It's kind of like you know, the unused subway systems underneath.
Sure.
Underneath like Vegas or New York. It's kind of like it's a little bit of a dangerous place. And as you follow it, it leads you to a disused refrigerator, which like it then lands on, or which it then like goes in through the door of. What do you do?
I'm gonna check and make sure no one else is in the area. Obviously, it's pretty quiet down here, but I would do a quick look before I go engage with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Make me a perception check.
Cool.
With advantage, because you have Lady, of course.
Good. Well, that's an 8.
Yeah, it's quiet in this section of the ship that you're in. The only thing that you're really hearing is like the occasional drip drip of some loose moisture in one of the piped walls somewhere. But you don't hear, and maybe like there's like maybe a skittering of some kind of smaller creature, but you don't hear or see any other like humanoids.
And I'll start to step towards the fridge and I'll say, what is it gonna be this time? Lady, could you try and open it?
Absolutely. Lady moves forward and examines the keyhole, and she gestures to you for the key.
Sure. I will pass the key over to her.
Yeah, as you pass it off to her, you see that this time it has taken this kind of like sleek and manufactured kind of almost aluminum look. It looks very sharp and polished, but also like a little like a little cheap too, you know, like
a bit like a house key.
A little bit like that, yeah, but it almost like cheaper than that, like the kind of cheap lock that you would get for like, you know, like the silly
like a padlock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
a. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so and you see she takes the key and it slides perfectly into a keyhole on the fridge, which is just suddenly there. It was not there a moment ago with that 8 perception check. It has appeared as Lady has kind of moved closer to it with the key. She inserts it into the key and she rotates it once, twice, 3 full times, at which point the door begins to open and there is like a bit of a burst of blinding light that fills this small room, and you see, which gets a little dazzling for a moment, and you see that it is a door to the Dragon's Curve, the set, which is all like the Dragon's Curve exists in such a strange place, like this kind of liminal space outside of where standard space is. The Mandelbrot's, it's a deep point of research for the set themselves, as they don't even really know the true limits of this place. But they figured it was a great place for a base. So as you kind of walk out, you see that there are just so many individuals kind of walking to and fro. There are both like kind of lab suited folks who are kind of clearly in research, carrying bundles of scrolls or funny looking devices. You see other folks who are carrying like what appear to be, or like dressed in like very sleek outfits, some of them appearing to be like almost like glom individuals, others like obviously wearing kind of counterculture gear. And as you move forward, Lance, the bird continues, the path of the bird continues. Do you follow it?
Sure, yeah.
Following the path, you are led down a section of rooms which you have never been to before, but you have go ahead and make me a history check.
Okay. History. A 17.
You know that this wing of like the Mandelbrot set HQ in this null space is usually the judiciary section. Usually this is where trials and things of that nature happen. And as you walk through, you see and follow the path. It goes through a doorway which leads into a small courtroom where there are several higher members of the set, higher more central node members, kind of standing around. They are all wearing kind of like the standard kind of white garb that is kind of reserved for the higher members.
Sure.
And you see Farv is standing there.
Okay. Would I be under the assumption that I am the one in trouble? How are faces looking in the room?
I'm gonna say go ahead and make me an insight check.
Okay. Well, it's an 11.
You definitely don't get good vibes off of this room. There is a solemnness in the space that you definitely, it kind of, as you enter, it kind of fills you. And as you come in, you see the individual at the front who you recognize as what was the name of the higher set order individuals?
I think we called, so like the group as a whole is the council, but I think we just called them scientists.
Right. So you see one of the head scientists of the council. He is kind of like his one of the head researchers. His robes are kind of like lined with red. He who you see is researcher Precht. Precht goes, Agent Little. Thank you for
a little.
Agent a Little. Apologies. Thank you for coming to our summit.
Certainly. Not every day that I receive a paper bird. And I think it's, the image is someone walking into court, no idea what's going on. They have a latte in one hand and they put big sunglasses up from their face onto their head. How can I help you all this evening?
It has been brought to the attention of this council that by Agent Favre that while unbeknownst to you and the party that you are currently keeping, it appears that there has been the potential for sabotage on a Mandelbrot set project. So we wish to ask you what happened at the satellite.
At the satellite, we arrived on what was perceived to be a rescue mission. And we weren't aware of Favre's affiliation at the time. And having encountered two groups of extratemporal entities, we allied ourselves with the ones that stopped attacking. And there was a number of Prism agents who showed up shortly after the first conflict, which I was able to dispatch them, and then we left shortly thereafter.
You see that council will, like, the heads of the council will, like, nod to each other, and they're, like, kind of talking in whispers. If you want to see if you can catch any of that, go ahead and make me a perception check.
Sure. Could I have advantage from Lady?
I'll say yes, but it will be clear that you're conferring with your familiar.
Okay, I won't take advantage. It's a 15.
You get the sense that this is new information, that they were not made fully aware to the extent of what had happened. You see Scientist Prek goes, interesting. So you claim that the damage done to this station was done by the Prism.
Oh, yes, there was a team that came in on a secondary ship. There was maybe 5 or 6 of them that had arrived. They were all ultraviolet. And there was really nothing to be done except to try and destroy them, of which I succeeded.
There's more murmuring amongst the scientists. Prek claps his hands together for silence. So you mean to tell me the ultraviolets were powerful enough to destroy the Yggdrasil before you were more powerful than them to destroy them yourself? Is that what you would have us believe?
Oh, no, the Yggdrasil, it was attached to the ship, and I believe in all the explosions, it had gotten loose.
Are you intentionally deceiving them?
Yes.
Go ahead and make me a deception.
It's not correct. So that's a 21.
You see there's more conferring happening by the scientist. Prek is staring at you hard. Like you see that he is just giving you a long-eyed stare. He is a high elven man. He has like sharp, kind of amber golden eyes. You actually recognize him. He knows Teak. He is one of the few individuals that actually has long experience working with him. Our findings of the station found that there wasn't a shred of the Yggdrasil that remained.
To be clear, I don't think that they destroyed it. I'm saying there was sufficient damage enough for the Yggdrasil to escape.
Favre chimes into this one and he goes, "That's bullshit, and we know it. The Pixie told me that they let the thing go free."
Pixies? We're gonna trust a bunch of mobsters? I'm
gotta
fully leaning in. Fuck
fucking die.
Favre.
Favre kind of like moves forward as if like he is gonna get like aggressive, but you see him, he catches himself and he goes, "This was another team that I had paid to clear the facility. At the time, I had not realized the extent of the temporal infraction that occurred. But this individual came back to me and reported seeing not only the Riot Nexus in question, letting the Yggdrasil go free, but also working with the temporal creatures to allow that, the plant ones." And the head scientist Precht will go, is that correct?
As a matter of purpose, I think that there are much more important things that were happening at the satellite for us to discuss. If we want to discuss what I did as a matter of what I perceived to be a glom utilizing aberrant time magic, we could. However, I was operating under an understanding, having been hired by another set member without knowledge of where we were heading. I will admit to what we did. It is what it is. I will also say that was by far the least interesting thing happening in this sector within the past 10 days.
Agreed. And there is the expectation of a full debrief that will occur, says Scientist Precht. However, in these matters, it is important for there to be, he chooses his words carefully, the origin of cause is an important one to determine, as responsibility can then be assigned to fix whatever mistake may have occurred. And in this case, I believe that will fall to you and your Riot Nexus if you are able to convince them. But it is your responsibility it will become your responsibility to fix the power source of the satellite. If you can find some form of replacement, then you're off the hook.
And not the cause of the more senior set member who hired me, having seen my very visible familiar and not informed me at all the situation we were heading into? I just want to be clear.
The punishment that Agent Favre will be undergoing is of no concern to you. And Favre looks at Scientist Precht like, what? Like, this had not been discussed to him at all. Like, this is news to him.
Well, I will discuss with the members of my circle that I've been working with recently. I think that finding an energy source is within the realm of our capabilities.
Of course, there is a reason why you are one of our top agents, and I have no doubt that by Perler's will, you will accomplish this. And he nods to you.
Well, I assure you that I am just a simple inner city agent. I don't do anything big as such, and if it's by anyone's will, it will be by the fractal that guides us all. Thank you. Am I done?
Of course. There's naturally a debrief that must occur. As you've stated, there is much going on in this sector, and we would love to get a report of that.
Wonderful. Well, with whom will be the debrief?
Yeah, they set you up with one of their one of their recorders. Basically, because all of the information gets stored in Lady, right? So Lady kind of goes to like, I'm almost picturing like a little kitty daycare where she goes and hangs out with the other fractals, and the information gets gets passed to everybody, right? Just like how in like a real daycare when somebody has a cool Pokemon card and then everybody has to look at it. Damn it. But Lance, they hook you up with a debriefer, and they take your account, and that takes a couple of hours because they ask you a bunch of nitty gritty questions about like details about the fractal creature, and then you get deep into the magical science of all that. And yeah, a few hours passes, and as you are making your way out of the Dragon's Curve, you see scientist Precht like comes up to you and he says, "Agent Little, do you have a moment?"
What would be a moment longer after the longest night of my life?
Yes,
Sure.
I can only imagine. And unfortunately, I believe your night might be about to get a little longer. We have gotten word that something has occurred in Respite revolving the Nexus. I'm not sure. Something over at the Shambling Hound. You might want to take a look into that.
Lovely. Well, I'll be on my way. Here's a cold golden milk latte. The person I was hoping to give it to isn't here tonight. And he'll pass it off and leave.
So you were hoping to see Teak then?
I think Lance stops as he's stepping away and will walk a couple steps further and go, "Lady!" And she comes like flying out of the wings, and the two of us will leave.
Hell yeah. Lady is flying with a crayon drawing of the crew of the Riot Nexus. Like everybody's there. It says there. Doldrum is there.
Perfect.
Even the egg is there, and Picasso.
Interesting. Okay, lovely. I look at it and I go, "You are so talented. Do you know I'm obsessed with you?" And we'll head out.
Amazing. Yeah, lady can't blush, but she does in that moment for
Totally.
sure. Awesome. So, yeah, so you step back out. You are still on this. You head back out through the door, and it leads you through that funny liminal space into that bright flash of light, and then you are back in the subdeck of the Founder's Ward. Do you head off towards the Shambling Hounds?
I think Lance finds something soccer ball size to kick as hard as far as he possibly can, and then he's gonna head out.
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead and make me just a straight strength check at
For
advantage as
Sure.
you do this.
Strength. That's an 18.
Yeah, you like there is just a like seemingly like kind of loose kind of well wheel, like like one of those big cranks, and you just kick the shit out of it. It completely busts, sundering off the pipe that it was attached to, and it just goes boing, flinging off down the corridor, ding ding ding, and it bounces away into the quiet as that kind of anger kind of ebbs out of you.
A little like curl of hair has come undone from his bun, and he'll tie it back up in his bun and head out to the Shambling Hound to see whatever is the matter.
Amazing. We smash cut to that moment. Lance, you're walking into the building. You see a huge shark with a under like a huge hammerhead flying shark with an underslung machine gun cannon has like crashed in through the ceiling and through a wall, and Lux is riding on top of it, and you see it licking and biting a woman, and you see Cal standing there. What do you do?
I can't go out for one cocktail.
Al looks up, sees Lance. Of course not. We're nothing but trouble.
So I've heard.
He looks back at this giant shark.
And Sorry, is this someone's? Are we aware of at least an ally to the shark in the room, or is this a concern?
Lux is gonna try to slide off the shark. She's very flustered. She's trying to get off the shark.
Cal goes to help Lux.
I'm gonna say, yeah, Cal, Lux, you're kind of twisted up in like the stirrups. But with Cal's help, you're able to get free. Sunshine Eclipse, she's like being like bit and like licked on, and she's like, no, bite it down. You know, you're not supposed to come in here, Bitey. And she's like, you know, like wrestling with like a big dog, kind of big, very friendly dog, right?
I was gonna. Never mind.
Oh no, go on.
Cal once again like reaches out to the shark, says in Celestial, like out loud, where did you find this? And he gestures to like Lux as he's like putting her on the ground.
What are you saying?
Don't worry about it.
It responds back in Celestial. Oh, well, I was, you know, just eating outside, and then somebody jumped on my back, and I figured I might as well go get Sunshine.
Did you try to steal?
What?
I'm gonna have Cal roll history to see if he remembers Bitey. We're just gonna attempt fate completely.
Sure. As you're trying to rack your brain, trying to remember Bitey with like a loud bang, Mad Dog like throws the chunk of like paneling off of him with his huge gorilla arm. Oh my god, double nat 20s.
Oh
+7.
shit!
I nat 1 to remember Sunshine Eclipse. I have nat 20'd to remember Bitey.
This is the equivalent of me not knowing anyone in my condo building's names, but I knew all of their dogs' names.
Yes. That energy.
Yep.
I think your memory of Sunshine Eclipse all comes rushing back when you see Bitey. That was how you met Sunshine Eclipse. You had heard that there was this is ages back. This is pre-Glom. This is like back when you were still like not ages back. This is like right back around when you were like just kicked off of the Bellowing Mountains, and you were kind of like still trying to find your way. And you had heard of another like woman out on the frontier with a Star Lancer, and so you went looking for them, and that woman ended up being Sunshine Eclipse, and basically you helped her like learn how to like better take advantage of like Bitey's abilities and use him for good, basically, as well as like ways to protect him and stuff like that. I will say you also recognize Bitey looks like quite a bit different than you had seen him before. He appears to have undergone some form of cosmetic surgery of some nature in order to look more shark-like. You see that parts of his body have been tweaked and changed to look to blend in a little bit more so with the environment that he finds himself in.
As I remember more about Sunshine, do I also remember like her race, things like that?
Yes, Sunshine is a human, and I think like she had like really come to the forefront like several years after you had already been out on the frontier, and you know that one of her big inspirations for like taking to the frontier and trying to help people was Cal.
I'm not blushing. Cal's not blushing. Cal's blushing. He's like, wow. Sunshine, I'm so sorry. You have not aged like a day. And Bitey, what'd you do to Bitey? What happened?
Oh, Bitey, he's fine. He likes this. Isn't that right, Bitey? And Bitey's like, he kind of like nuzzles Sunshine, And she goes, you got to stay 2 steps ahead of the glom. After we split, I ended up like having a few run-ins, more than I would have liked, with the Bellowman Mountains and some of their boys. So started looking for ways to hide in plain sight, as it were. And that's where Mad Dog comes in. Mad Dog is like looking like a little annoyed at this point, but you also recognize that these walls are not like, they're not like brick and stone and mortar. They're fairly like cheap walls. And he goes, let me fix this. And he goes over to like a tree that kind of almost looks like it's a very tall kind of like big sheaf, and he walks up to it and just starts pulling on the side of it, and the bark on the tree comes off kind of almost like a paper towel roll, where he's just like unrolling this like thick bark like material. He like snaps it off and he walks over and he like replaces the door with it. He replaces the wall with it very, very quickly. And as he's doing so, he goes, Sunshine, I thought you said that like this is not a great first impression. I have to be straight up. This is like, what am I supposed to think? And Sunshine goes, I know. I mean, I haven't, to be honest, this is the first time I'm meeting them too. I really know Cal very well, although he maybe doesn't remember me that well, and I don't know these other people, but I if Cal's with them, they gotta be good. And Mad Dog is just like, he's like pinching his brow.
Cal's like, okay, so this is Lux, and that's Lance, and Kite is still in the back room. He's Lance, you actually made.
He's quite literally under the table in the back room.
Actually, Lance, you may want to go knock on that door, and there's a whole thing. Anyway, so these are my friends, and they're fine. I promise. A little chaotic, but who amongst us is not?
Lex looks very concerned, or like very uneasy right now, very uncomfortable. And she's glancing
Makes
towards
sense.
the door.
Cal just like pats her shoulder.
Mad Dog finishes putting up the wall, and he puts it up in such a way that like he encloses everybody inside of it. Like he encloses Bidey, Lux, Cal, Sunshine. Y'all are in this kind of like smaller room. Oh, sorry, not Lance. Rather, Lance has walked away at this point over to the other kind of small room that has been set up in this kind of similar way. But yeah, he basically closes off the wall, so y'all have a little bit of privacy in this back room.
Has Itzel made it back?
No, Itzel hasn't come in just yet.
Oh god.
Baby.
Well, I'm glad to see it. Like, this is Mad Dog. He says, "Well, I'm glad to have another individual here that maybe can speak for the Nexus. Maybe I'll wait till everybody gets here. Maybe I'll wait. It seemed like not waiting and pitching it to Cal seemed like that didn't work very well. So maybe I'll just wait."
Lovely. Thank you. And Lance walks towards the door and gives a little knock and go, it's a pretty windy day out there, but I don't see any kites in the wind.
It was so cute. Kite, I think, knowing that that's definitely Lance, because no one else would have been able to repeat that. Like, nobody else would have been able to embody that in that way. You hear some shuffling, and then the door opens, and then Lance, you are yanked inside of it, and it is shut very rapidly.
Okay.
And then Kite immediately just starts recounting everything from starting like he's like, I got back to the ship after being chased by fairies that did a number on me, or they were pixies. Sorry, they were little pixies, and they in little suits, and they were attacking me, and they were mad at me, and they said something about the satellite, and he explains the whole satellite thing, and then he goes. But then we had I talked to Cal about it, and Cal healed me, and it was fine. And then I had a conversation with Cal where he was telling me all of this stuff about his friend and how he wanted to bring his friend back and how important it was to him. And I felt very much for that, and I felt very empathetic to it because I've been in a similar situation in the past where I just wanted nothing more than my friend to come back to me, and not you, like a different friend, but you know what I mean. And then he told me all of this stuff. I don't know. We have to go to the body of a dead god to bring a friend back. I don't know. He told me this sob story.
Okay.
No, the god is not the friend. He told me this sob story is the point about his friend that he wants to revive, and then I walked into the pilot's room and Lux was there, and Lux starts telling us about how, me more specifically, about how the Knights Accord has asked her to look into us and surveil us and is keeping an eye on us, which seems really weird, and it just seemed very manipulative and almost like calculated, like Cal told me all of this stuff to make me feel bad for him, and then walked me into a situation in which I was being told to just kind of trust Lux, even though she's like some kind of assassin lady. And I don't know. And then they were like, it's fine so long as you don't have any temporal disturbances going on. But you know, I have tons of temporal disturbances going on. That's all of my thing. So I couldn't just stay there like that. And they kept trying to tell me it was okay, but I felt like I was being manipulated, and I didn't know what to do. And so he's like, as he's doing this, he's like rubbing the fur around his face and like smushing it, almost like it's like akin to
You're like kneading biscuits on your face.
Almost, yes. Like it's like an attempt at self-soothing almost. Sure. And he starts like rubbing his ears down and flat, and he's just like, and I don't know what to do with either of them anymore, but I don't know if we can trust them. There was just a lot, and you weren't around for me to consult with, and I didn't know what to do, so I walked out of the ship with the intention of just hiding out somewhere for a while until you were back. And I got this letter from Uglos, but it said Buglos on it, and then there was this little bug, and it did a little dance, and then it left. But the letter said to come here, and I met with Uglos, and and he was like, where's the rest of you? And I didn't know what to say because I didn't want to explain to him that it felt like Cal had manipulated me, and then Lux had been like surveilling us, and so I didn't reveal any of that to him, but I was just like, that I don't know. And so then Buglos like left me in here, and then I closed the door and heard Lance and Cal come in, so I put a spell on the door to keep it from moving, and then Cal tried to talk to me, but it just felt like he was doing more, I don't even know, like he was trying to placate me, and this has just been a bad day, Lance. Where have you even been?
I've been on trial. I originally went out, when I left the note, I went out because I wanted just to like get a drink, and I found out that like there was a Mimnor bar around, which you know is like fucked up and weird anyway, because it's like, what do? Go and drink alcohol and pretend to sit quietly while no one tells any jokes or anything fun or dances, and but I went anyway, and as I was leaving, somewhat feeling refreshed despite, everything. I received a paper bird from the Mandelbrot set, and it turns out that Favre decided to go snitch on us. Apparently the Pixies were also working for him, and he knew that we had like let the giant tree creature go, and they're pissed at us because like they're down an energy system, And I'm feeling kind of fucked up because it's like there's an organization I've been working in that I wasn't sure how I've been feeling about it recently anyway. And also, I guess they're cool with like just strapping creatures into devices to be power systems. And like that also feels fucked up. And it's
That
like,
does
I
feel
didn't
fucked
really
up.
want to be around here anyway, but now you like really have me fucked up. But anyway. The punishment is that I'm supposed to help try and find a new power source. Technically, we're all supposed to find, but if no everyone else ditches and I get stuck with this, I'm just gonna go have to find it.
Well, okay, I have questions. First of
Okay.
all, you weren't the one who released the tree.
Yeah, but I was complicit in like ruining a Mandelbrot experiment. Blah, 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 whatever. I thought it would
Okay.
be cool to come in with all the information we had, and they just sat me down with some debriefer I've never met before, some random dude, and he just sat there with his notepad and asked me questions for 4 hours, and nobody gave a shit, and also I had to go on trial. So that's cool and fine.
Okay, so we've both had a bad day.
It's not a competition. I just want you to know
it wasn't
that
a
like
competition.
I'm just saying, like, you have a kindred spirit, is what I'm saying. Is like,
Yes, no, yeah, I was trying to
do feel
commiserate.
bad that I got pulled away for much longer than intended.
No, that's not your fault, Lance. I
It's not
wasn't
my
actually
fault,
upset that
but I
you
could
left.
have, like, yeah.
I wasn't. I know you go off and do set stuff sometimes. It was more the timing of everything, the fact that you were
Sure.
gone when all of that stuff happened. I can't. You know I can't. You know where I came from.
Okay, so listen. Me, my group, we're all about time shit. And I think that might have been what Cal was talking about being worried about. They don't seem to be angry with us for any of our kind of bullshit we're doing. They're more mad about the Yggdrasti. The Knights
Okay.
Accord, if you're worried about them, I mean, none of us are raising people from the dead, and they're not like, kill the whole family because some of the family is a problem. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like make anything better. It still sucks to be surveilled by the Knights Accord. I have been for the past couple of years anyway. They just have a file on me, I'm sure. I've always been a little too embarrassed to ask Lux about it, but I assume they have one. So it's just like I've been traveling around for a couple of years now with a file on me, and I'm not dead yet. So
I mean, I guess you're right. I guess the set is probably would be more. I mean, I can't begin to explain right now. This is not a place to begin to
Sure.
explain.
But listen, when the day comes where you want to crunch some numbers, we can talk about some atrocities that your parents are doing. We can sit down and do that. I'm not expecting that from you right now. I'm just saying, like, I'm just telling you, you're probably good.
Okay.
There are worse things than being surveilled. I mean, we're living in the bubble. Everyone here is surveilled.
I know.
It's a matter of which group it is.
Yeah. I think for me it was more I'm not even that upset that she's surveilling us. It just felt so weird to have Cal try to
Oh, the 1-2 kind of vibe.
Yeah.
That does suck. Do you think he knew he did that?
I have no idea. But I needed to put space between us in case I was correct, because the last time it didn't go well.
Sure.
So,
well, if you want, so we have two options at the current moment. Really 3, depending on your comfortability, because I'm not feeling pushy tonight. Just like talking things out has let off a lot of steam that I've been kind of holding in since I was down on the underside of the ship, or this meteor comet, whatever we're on right now, this station. So if you want, we could both go out together and talk about whatever this thing is that they want to talk about. If you want, we can both
Okay.
hang out in here and I send Lady out there. Or I can go out there and you can hang in here since you've already gotten the gist of whatever they want to talk about. Do any of this sound like a vibe to you?
Why don't we both go out there? I have no idea. Oh, there was also this lady that saved me from the fairies. She looked a lot like Cal. Cal's not part of an organization. Cal does not seem like someone who's part of an organization, but if he's part of an organization, it's probably even more secret than the Knights Accord or the set.
I think it's just a fashion like genre, like goth. I think they just do like dusters.
What's a goth?
Oh my god. Okay, so and we'll start walking back over to the other room talking about goths.
Yes.
Amazing. In that brief span of time, Mad Dog has made another cup of tea for himself and Sunshine Eclipse, and has also offered Lux a cup.
No.
Sunshine Eclipse goes, "Oh, you're a loss," as she eagerly says yes. As the two of you come in, Mad Dog is prepping. You see his large hands are working on the tea set that he has kept under his desk, which the first one kind of got smashed. He has Uglos go and get a fresh set for him, and he starts pulling out more raw starite in order to get a little fire burning for the heat the kettle and stuff. And all this he's doing with his very large hands, which seemingly have a great amount of dexterity to them despite their large size. And just in case, this Mad Dog is a kind of slender orc. He is a little bit less. He's kind of a bit thinner and less muscular than what you would normally associate with orc physique. However, he has these two very large, almost bigger than gorilla-esque arms coming out of his kind of back and shoulder blades to give him two sets of arms, 4 arms in total. And these kind of huge arms are very dexterous, manipulating and pouring the set of tea. And as Kite and Lance enter in, he offers the two of you as a cup as well.
Is there a door? Is there a door in there, or did he just block? Did he just block everything?
No, there's a door.
Okay, cool.
Still looking at exits. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kite takes a cup of tea with a very quiet thank you. He sounds a little hoarse from yelling.
Cal is over by Bitey, and he's you can just see that he's just squatting next to him and just petting Bitey, and you can hear under his breath the faint sound of chimes. So clearly he's holding on conversation in Celestial, and it's kind of that vibe that when you miss your pet and then you go over to someone else's house and they have a pet that's very much like yours, and I'm just going to be over here now.
Amazing. Yeah, absolutely.
That is Cal's vibe right now.
Bitey is also very into your bag of holding. He does not stop nuzzling it and just doing that cat thing where they're rubbing their body on it to show affection. He's just he's going wild over it. As Mad Dog continues to prep the tea, he will go, excellent. Well, now that we have the whole Riot Nexus here, I'm going to go ahead and repitch what I had pitched to Cal. He did not seem interested, but I figure the three of y'all might be instead. Although you would think that the man with the 6 billion platinum bounty on his head would be interested in some modicum of protection. Maybe, I don't know, Death's Devotee, the Kite in the Wind, or Lance a Little, maybe one of you will be interested. And he moves forward, placing the tea in front of all of y'all before taking a sip of his own and continuing. I heard from my good friend Sunshine here that he gestures to Kite, had been accosted by some Pixies in the area, specifically those associated with Dawn Cider. Is that correct? That happened earlier this evening?
I mean, I wouldn't say accosted, but I was approached by a group of pixies.
Sunshine Eclipse goes, honey, they were gonna beat the shit out of you.
Excuse me, I had it handled. You were helpful, thank you for that. But
You're
they, I
welcome.
had it. I could have
Influenced you.
dealt with them.
Now that I see Sunshine, does the clothing bear a resemblance between Cal and Sunshine?
Definitely, absolutely. It's like a different. It's different. It's different clothes, but the vibe is on point, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's like less of a uniform, more of an aesthetic.
right. It's like the brown coats from
Interesting.
Firefly, where it's just
Oh,
like
yeah,
everybody has their own
sure.
brown coat. Right,
Interesting.
like
Yeah, no, it's like normal that people dress the same way.
Yeah,
totally.
she's just also goth.
I'm not saying okay. Like goth. I'm not saying I think that Cal is goth. So
Y'all might be goth. You don't know.
it's a great
We
point.
gotta stop.
So and Mad Dog chimes in at this point. The point remains, though, you were targeted by the Pixie mob.
I
Is
guess.
that like the only thing that happens here in Respite is the Pixie mob?
No, but they have been a fucking thorn in my side for a while now, and they've only gotten more bold. Mad Dog kind of like angrily like puts his tea down.
Well,
Okay, well,
what about them? What's interesting about them? Why are we talking about them?
Basically, I had heard from one of my bottom rung folks, Uglis, but you gotta listen to everybody, even the bottom rung folks. You had rescued him from a sticky predicament, which I'm very grateful for, and hearing that you had been accosted by such ne'er-do-wells, I thought it might be of interest to you to, and maybe we were of the same mind that if you had encountered more pixies in the future, that and there were fatalities of that nature on the pixie sides, then if you were interested in disposing of their bodies in a discreet manner, then I would be happy to take them off of your hands for less than free. I would be happy to pay you for them, as well as give you honorary membership to the Shambling Hound and let you access the various things that we do around here.
Wait, so you want us to just go kill them?
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if there is just a circumstance where you are fighting these pixies and one of them happens to die, and you don't want their body making its way back to the Dawn, who will then find out and target you even harder, you can give their body to me.
What are you gonna do with the bodies?
Is that...
That's Cal from the background.
Mad Dog looks...
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm wondering.
Is this very relevant to the conversation? I mean, I'm happy
Yeah.
to...
I mean, not necessarily for me, but if you are all interested in the knowledge, I'm down.
Well, I mean, we don't know what could be derived from the body of a magical creature like a pixie. What are you actually after?
In addition to the secretive nature of not prodding the Dawn, as it were, having his people go missing is much better than having his people being found dead. There are certain tinctures, ointments, things that can be derived from the body of a magical creature, like you noted, that is useful both in my research and in the production of other various things. Specifically, would you like a list of various compounds and such, or would you like just the cliff notes? For example, their wings are very useful and can be crafted into potential flying apparatus, which, while not useful in the astral seas, can go for a heavy price on certain worlds. But
That's pretty crazy what you're asking right now.
I would like a list. Give me everything.
Kite, make a persuasion check. I'm going to say with advantage because you are also like a scholar.
Okay.
What does
Oh, no.
membership entail?
Well, in
What
addition,
kind of benefits are there?
Of course. Well, in addition to the protection of the gang, which is at least within the span of respite, potentially not the pavilion, as it's basically suicide to assault those walls, but we're happy to extend that protection to you for the rest of respite gladly, as well as you would be able to access the deeper levels of the Bleeding Briar, which include lodging and things of that nature. We would also be more than happy to, I would be more than happy to give you access to certain pieces of gear that, while we do deal some weapons and armaments, we also keep a lot of the things to ourselves. You keep the good things to yourself. So in that context, we would also be willing to share with you as if you were a member.
I'm out.
All at the very low cost of doing experiments on other beings.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so I rolled a 21 for the persuasion check, first of all. Kite is gonna, lean in a little bit, almost like he's sort of paying attention in a scholarly way. And he says, no, I want to know exactly what their bodies can be used for. Every single thing.
Mad Dog will smile and he will say, if you agree to my terms, I will be more than happy to share with you.
Personally, I don't mind it. I just have to be honest. Although, right now, it's not what you're asking us to do. Should you ever ask us to go, a pixie hunting, I would have to call it quits at that point, just because it would be seen as retaliation for some things that have happened in my very recent past. And I'm just trying to be aware of that.
Naturally, and I would not ask you to do that. I have no intention of having pixies be hunted for sport or for their parts themselves. This is simply in circumstance.
Can I roll an insight check?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's basically trying to set up a pixie chop shop.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's an 18, buddy.
Good buddy.
I'm going to say that you, since that he is being truthful in this moment, you see that, from his candor and his, the way that he is being matter of fact about this, you can tell that, he is really interested just in the bodies themselves, and he does not want the pixies to come to an early end, as it were. He does truly believe it to be a circumstantial benefit thing. Second, you get the sense that he is not into this. He doesn't like having to ask this. You get the vibe that he is grappling with this morally. You can see he has distaste for this conversation as a whole, basically. And he says to you, as a medical professional, I value life, and in that capacity, I would not ask you to harm another creature in order to be able to facilitate that. However, as a medical researcher, there is great knowledge that can be discovered and found with the bodies of the dead, and it is to those ends that I make this request. That is all. I would not ask a hunting party, as it were.
What is the nature of your research? Could you give us some insight into that before we agree to your terms?
Go ahead and make me a persuasion check. I'm gonna say you can make this at advantage if Cal or Lance would like to help with this.
Sure.
Okay. Oh. 8 total.
Oh no.
I rolled a 5 and a 2.
He smiles again and he says, unfortunately, the nature and the subject of my research is delicate at this point, and the less people that know the true nature of it, it's safer that way. And Sunshine goes, you can trust these folks, Mad Dog. You can trust them. You can trust Cal. And he looks at Sunshine and he shakes his head.
Do you know who you're talking to?
I know I'm talking to a shark stealer.
Listen, she gets into situation. Cal is walking back over to everybody now.
In her defense, she was probably trying to liberate the shark, not realizing that it was somebody's beloved pet.
I don't need any kind of defense right now.
Bidey's not a pet. Bidey is a partner.
Beloved partner. I'm gonna be honest, Lux. When are you not trying to liberate something at this point?
It's not relevant. Anyway, you said that you were going to use it for the dead. Can you explain that more, please?
Like an organ donation, if you will.
I don't know if that's the way you want to put that.
For the dead?
Against their consent?
Wait, the DM, I'm confused. Which part are you referring to, Reg?
Well, you said that for the Pixies using it in studies with the dead, right?
Like doing scientific experimentation, or not, but like research on their bodies, like donating your body to science. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not specifically about like using their body parts to do anything about the dead. It's about doing experiments on dead pixies.
Right. Like how, cadaver research is like a big thing in the real world, right? Where like people will donate their body to medical science, so that way they can have various things done to them after the fact, so that way those scientists can get real world information. Yeah, so that's kind of the vibe.
Yeah, no, Lux was just asking, so getting an explanation for that.
Oh, okay.
What he meant, because it was very like, that's totally a thing, yeah. But she was just asking.
No, gotcha. So his response is, there is, out here in the bubble, there's much research to be done on many different topics that could have potential roads of inquiry that would be relevant to the goals of my research.
But we can't know what the goals of your research are.
He looks really uncomfortable at this, and he goes, I will tell Cal, as it seems like Sunshine has the best relationship with him, and if she trusts him, I trust him. If Cal wishes to spread that information to the rest of you, then that will be his choice.
All right, fine. Let's hear it.
He will pick up like a device from his desk, and he will touch it to his brow, at which point a strand of thought energy will pull out of his head, and he will hand it to you, and he will say, break this.
Cal crushes it in his hand.
As you crush it, the psychic energy goes into you, and it is a little bit of like a data dump that happens, and you get the sense that this individual is Mad Dog. He is researching components to help somebody who is sick
with the clown disease.
Who's the person that's Cal, like, without thinking, fires back telepathically, who is it you're trying to help?
He does like a little bit of a half step back, and he steps forward, and he goes, I have no idea. I know very little about them. All I know is that Eldath was interested in them. Peacemaker Corps, they were a subject of interest to them, and what they asked me to do to them, I refused.
He raises an eyebrow at that. Of course, the plot thickens. Why didn't you... Why didn't you just say this from the beginning? Like, you're asking for a lot. You're asking people to trust you, and you don't even trust them.
Do you trust people that you've just met with the thing that you are being hunted for?
Cal blinks at him. I'm literally walking around with a target on my back at all times. Like, you're asking the wrong person this question.
My face is a target. Oh wait, this is telepathic. Ignore me.
Yeah. It's just like weirdly quiet for all of them. Like just like looking around, like what is happening?
Sunshine Eclipse says he's doing a mind chat right now.
That's just like normal for you.
This is like normal for him. She like
Sure.
head nods at him.
No, I mean like he'll just do this.
All the time. It's a little rude, but don't say anything. He gets real ornery about it.
Okay, sure. Have you done one before?
Oh yeah, all the time. This way ages back.
Is it just like a regular conversation?
Basically, more or
okay.
less.
Okay.
Little quieter.
Cal goes, you pointed out earlier, I have a 6 billion platinum bounty on my head. So yeah, I do typically trust people with like one of the most precious things about me, because it's all public knowledge. It is what it is.
Is it public knowledge?
There's posters.
The posters tell one story. And we all know how the Glom loves their stories.
Yeah, well, perception's reality.
You look at the man wearing a mask of a snarling dog face with two huge arms coming out of his back, and he goes, "Yes, indeed." And he says that audibly. Perception is reality. Now, would you be interested in the job?
Am I interested? No. Will I help people? Yes.
Okay, wait. Cal, I have a really quick question for you. An important clarification question.
Mm-hmm.
Is it people or is it person?
It's
We don't
person.
need to do this right now. Okay.
I don't think we do.
We could get back to the ship. And
I really would like to keep moving.
Lux, you realize that Itzel has not come back.
I need to go find my dog. She's like, I need to go find Itzel. And she just starts to leave so she can go look for Itzel because this is concerning. Where is he?
Why'd you leave your dog?
I didn't mean to.
You've abandoned your boy.
No.
You abandoned him earlier.
No.
No, but Kite is like, what do you mean we don't have to do this now? If we are trying to give him an answer.
Pardon me real quick. I don't want to be rude. Lance is gonna kind of tread closer to where the giant hole in the wall is. Do I happen
Mad Dog
anywhere
cover it?
in...
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Mhm.
Just like a sheet or like fully
Well,
fix the wall?
The walls themselves were kind of thin to begin with. They're kind of, all the walls are kind of made out of this kind of funny bark material that he just replaced it with more of. That you see those trees that he replaced it with are just kind of growing all over the place here.
Oh, sure. Are there any windows?
No, but you could very easily cut one if you wanted.
Well, that seems rude. Pardon me. I'm going to go step out for some air with Lux. But yeah, I'll be right back. Just like real quick.
Cal is going to take this time to kind of like... He asks Kite if it's okay to approach him first before explaining what Mad Dog explained to him.
Yeah, it's fine.
And so he'll like kind of like squat down next to Kite and he'll like run through it all.
I'm sorry, I just immediately imagined that like how to talk to short people meme.
No.
But I know you're not doing that though. Kite
Just
will...
another transgression for Cal.
different kind of transgression. Transgression. Kite will kind of listen closely and nod along, and then say, I'm going to be honest. Him being cagey is the issue. I don't really have a big problem with handing over the bodies of the Pixies to him if it means that we don't get in trouble. But I don't know, he's being weird.
He is being real weird.
Incredibly weird.
Like, super
Like,
weird.
Most smart, scholarly people you meet want to tell you all about the thing that they're researching about. So why doesn't he want to tell us? I know he said there are people trying... Well, no, I didn't hear that because that was telepathic. Never mind.
Because it's also morally dubious, let's be honest.
It is.
But a lot of scientific studies are, unfortunately.
They are.
But if this can help one person, that means it also has the ability to help numerous people.
That's true. I just kind of wish I knew what he was trying to heal. Because, like, he kind of, like, leans a little closer to Cal and, like, makes a motion kind of implying that he's wanting Cal to, like, create a telepathic link.
After a beat, like, Kite can feel, like, basically the sensation of, like, just, like, Cal entering his mind for this conversation.
Okay. So then, telepathically, Kite is like, I know that the Shambling Hounds aren't Glom, obviously, but we don't know anything about who he is trying to help or what he is trying to heal. If he told us that weird clown disease that sometimes people get where they get the big feet and stuff, like he was trying to heal that, I'd be like, oh yeah, okay, you're trying to heal that weird clown disease that, like, people sometimes get. But it's the fact...
You know about that?
Timbo? Was that fine? Is it okay that Kite knows about the clown disease?
I'm like,
I think it would be hilarious if Kite knew about the clown disease.
He used to sit around in a library and just read books. Like, he probably has read medical textbooks.
I'm gonna say no. Kite does not know about clown disease. Kite does not know about clown.
Never mind. Slight rewind. He'll say, if he was, like, trying to cure or heal, like, the space flu, that is not a reference anyway, it doesn't matter. If he was trying to heal, like, a common illness that we see all of the time or something like that, or, like, even a rarer one that, you know, exists and is out there, you know, it would be less weird. But the fact that he won't tell us what he's trying to heal makes it feel like he is trying to heal something that we wouldn't want to know about. And that's what I'm concerned about right now.
That makes sense. Maybe we could try asking him, but it's piquing my curiosity because one of the refugees that we rescued, Vic, one of their partners, is sick with this disease that's like, it's almost like a clown disease for clowns.
Excuse me?
Trust me, I know. But, like, big feet, squeaky wheeze breathing, like, honking. It's...
Oh, so he is, like, they're, like, turning into a clown?
Kinda? It's really weird, and...
That is weird.
I think I'm gonna ask Mad Dog if that's what it is that he's trying to cure, because if so, I specifically can help this person out.
I mean, I could get behind them trying to cure some strange clown disease. Like I said, my issue is more that he's being cagey about it.
No,
so if you could get him to say what it is, I agree.
Okay. Because I'm 100% with you. He's been really weird and cagey and like super suspect about this.
Agreed.
Okay.
Hmm.
So we're gonna try and see what disease he's trying to cure.
Mhm.
All right, break.
Break.
What kind of disease are you trying to cure? Is it like a clown disease for clowns?
Is it like or cardiovascular?
Is it discorrelation?
No, it's not. It's not discorrelation, but there is some tie to that I've found. I've not heard about a clown disease. That seems terrifying, but we'll touch on that later, I think. He seems to take a note down on its desk.
Listen, if you want us to help you, you need to be completely honest with us because you have been so sus and so weird about this. Okay? Tell us what you're trying to cure. And honestly, we're probably going to say yes.
Make a persuasion check at advantage.
Okay. Persuasion.
Kite's very quietly like, does that mean there can be other kinds of things where you get turned into... You know what? Actually, I shouldn't think about this right now.
13.
With a 13, Mad Dog lets out like a long, low sigh, and he says, "All right, I'll do more than tell you. I will show you. Come with me." And he like walks out of the small room with Sunshine like walking kind of behind, like, and she puts her head over her shoulder and like does like a head nod, like, "Come on."
I guess we're gonna follow.
Yeah. Kite is going to very subtly cast mage armor on himself.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
As we're walking.
This flash of energy as Kite is like enwreathed, and then like the sigils go like subtle on their body. I love it. Excellent. Meanwhile, Lance and Lux have darted out the front door. Lux, you're looking for your boyo. You're looking for Itzel.
Absolutely, I am.
Going to make a perception check.
Yeah.
Timbo,
Yeah.
I am looking for something else entirely.
What are you looking for?
Oh.
I knew it.
Is there pixie dust out here?
Go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead and make an investigation check at advantage.
I got an 18 on perception.
A 16 on investigation.
Lux, not only do you not see Itzel anywhere, you find his collar without him.
Oh.
You also see Lux with the 18. The ship's gone.
What?
Yeah, the Nimbus
It stole the
not,
ship.
Holy shit. The Nimbus is not where you parked it. And Lance, by that open spot in the docking, you find several brightly shimmering grains of pixie dust. And we're going to go to break right there. We're going to take a 10-minute break.
What the fuck?
I knew it.
I hate it. Okay, I gotta do stuff, but oh god.
All right, chat. We are going to be right back in 10 minutes or so. At the 50-minute mark, stick around. All right, we'll be right back. Hello, Guilders, and welcome back to Tales of the Riot Nexus, episode 7. We rejoined the party. We're actually going to cut back over to Kite and Cal. Kite and Cal, you have been led by Mad Dog into a back room. This one, like, quite a bit more secure than the small, like, little antechamber that you were talking to Mad Dog and Sunshine in. This one leads down into like an underground chamber in the asteroid itself, seemingly dug and mined out. You go through a couple of sealed doors. Kite, you recognize those to be like pressure seals. They are appear to be like attempting to keep any form of, like, you go through multiple pressure seals attempting to keep whatever inside. And as you enter, you see basically into like a laboratory, a medical science laboratory, or a magic medical science laboratory. As you walk around, there's very clean white tables everywhere. There are inscription runes and other various magitech kind of tools about. You also see that there is very clearly a Glitterdust production happening here. They appear to be growing some very large, like, opalescent plants, which are glittering with this, like, very beautiful inner light. And you see, like, several of them are being harvested and basically processed into refined glitter dust, which they're then packaging up. You also see that there is other things happening in this space. There are people like perusing different pieces of biomancy, such as additional multiple limbs, like feelers, things kind of like our friend Buglos, things like that. As you're progressing, he takes you through another pressure door. This one seems to be, which has a very large guard in front of it. He is like a strapping orc with kind of like the bouncer upstairs, except even bigger than him. And he has like a second set of beefy arms, kind of similar to Mad Dog's, although actually smaller in form, under his regular shoulders. And he kind of like gives y'all a little bit of a glaring look as you walk in past him. There is nobody in this section of the facility as you continue to walk, and he takes you to a an enclosed chamber where there is a door, but it appears to be like heavily bolted. It looks like another pressure seal, and you see there is like a window that peers into this room that looks it is currently shuttered. And he goes, we have to keep them in this chamber at a specific pressure and temperature. It helps to slow the spread
across their bodies or spread to other people.
I don't believe it to be infectious or virulent in nature, but okay. There is a lot of this that I don't know about, and there was a lot that Peacemaker wanted me to know about through invasive means, which I did not want to do. And here we are. And he moves over to the wall, he flicks a switch, and the visor raises, and you see a young man. He appears to be, he can't be out of his teens. He looks maybe 18 or 19 years old. He's very thin and kind of frail, like kind of got that sickly look. But there is an inner light glowing from the chamber, and you see that one of his arms has... Oh, just lost Dom.
Yeah, he said his computer glue screened. So we can... I don't know what to do in this situation.
The visor raises, and we hard cut back over to...
There we go, perfect.
Yeah, so the visor raises, and in the chamber you see a young, sickly-looking man. He is very sallow-skinned, pale-looking. He has like kind of thin blonde hair and kind of lighter-colored eyes. He appears to be human at first blush, but there is also like an inner light emanating from the chamber and from the man themselves, and it takes both of your eyes a moment to recognize what is happening. You see that his left arm has tessellated and fractalized out and has become wispy, radiant energy, ever shifting. Kite, go ahead and make me an Arcana check in this moment as you're looking.
Oh boy. Okay. Oh, nat 20 for a total of 28.
Holy shit. You see
that
Number 28, you see that the fractaline energy of this young man's corporeal form is tessellating and generating in a similar way that you've seen Lady's body do so when she is like interacting with things or processing information, or even like those brief moments where she changes size and she grows larger or smaller. The way that the light and energy is outputting in that moment, it continuously from this young man's arm is the exact same way. And you see that the spot where the it goes from flesh to this like light energy is like, it's almost like it's almost like a haze, like a mirage as you're looking at it, and it's difficult to determine in that spot whether or not what. And you see, even as you're watching it, things shift and change, and the flesh combines, it recombines, and becomes energy and becomes stable again. And you do see, even as these moments are passing, it is slowly like creeping up the young man's like shoulder almost.
They're becoming fractal. They're becoming like, shoot, I'm forgetting the chewingas. They're like becoming chewingas. This is more than strange. Lance needs to see this.
I agree.
Kite will look at Mad Dog and say, is there any connection among them? Anything common that they did? They didn't potentially visit a satellite or run into a fractaline creature or anything like that, right?
Unfortunately, I have no idea. They remain in a comatose state. I have not had the opportunity to confer with them. It has been like this for a couple of years at this point. I unfortunately, when Peacemaker brought them to me, I was unaware of how this had occurred. If they knew, they were unwilling to tell me, unfortunately.
Kite looks at Lance and then looks back at Mad Dog and says, have you tried to connect with them telepathically? You have that thing.
In order for that telepathic connection to occur, there needs to be a will from the individual. There needs to be like recognition and desire. And if the individual, if they are still in there, they didn't have enough of that to be able to determine what I was doing and be able to make that connection.
Well, I think we're willing to help.
Yeah, definitely. Cal kind of questions for a moment, like, should I try and reach out telepathically? Like, he wonders if it will be any different.
Kite looks at Cal and is like, I want to say yes, but I don't know if it's safe for you to do that. And I don't think it's a good idea for you to do that unless we have more of an idea of whether or not it's safe.
I mean, come on, what's the worst that could happen to me?
That, and he like tilts his head at the sight of these patients. You're not going to be helpful to them like that.
Cal thinking to himself, but what if I'm just built different?
Oh my god.
We should go get Lance.
Cal's gonna give Kite so many different kinds of heart attacks in a single day. We should get Lance.
Amazing. We smash cut over to Lance and Lux. Lance, you are holding a gleaming bead of pixie dust in your hand.
I whip her out and go, Lux, do you see this? My hand is pinched in front of my face.
She turns to him. She's like, what?
Fucking Pixies! All night with the Pixies!
Oh my god. Oh my god, those motherfuckers. We have to go after them.
Listen, I wasn't intending on killing Pixies tonight and maybe turning
I'm
their
gonna fucking kill them.
Their bodies over for profit.
I'm gonna fucking kill him. I'm gonna kill him.
certainly feeling different than I was about 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, so we're on the same page. I like it.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Cool.
Amazing.
Should we get the other two?
Are they gonna talk?
You're
they're gonna
having
want
a
to
bit
talk
of a
about
night.
it.
Sure, let's go.
Can Lux try to because she did give mental access to Helm, can she try to see if she can connect to him?
As you think about that, you remember that Helm has mentioned that he does not have the current range to make telepathic communication of that distance.
God fucking.
Also, Lance, as you're like, let's go. You guys take a couple steps towards the pier to step off into the astral sea to head off. You take one half of a footstep out, and Lance, you remember you don't really know where you're going.
Sure, I don't know where I'm going. Actually, I think I know exactly where I'm going. How long would it take to go see Farv?
Oh, pretty. Farv's not that far. You actually.
His station's pretty close, right?
Yeah, his little garage is quite nearby.
Yeah, I turn to Lux and I say, would you want to maybe stop by Farv's place? I think he might know where the Pixies are.
I love how y'all are not even coming to pick up the other half of your party.
You guys are in a subterranean laboratory or whatever. We don't know where you are.
You can literally just come back to this building.
No.
We're getting ditched.
Getting ditched. Lex is like, oh yeah, I would love to speak to Farv right now.
Perfect. And we're gonna go hop off.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
Hop off to pop off.
Y'all swan dive into the astral sea and begin to make your way towards Farv at an advanced clip. Uglos has just walked out the front door at the behest of Mad Dog in order to come and get you two, and he sees you two dive off into the sea. He walks back inside. He comes around the corner to Mad Dog, where he's now standing with Cal and with Cal and Kite. And Uglos goes, "Boss, they just jumped off into the sea to go someplace. I don't know where." And Mad Dog pinches the bridge of his nose again.
Excuse me?
What?
Yeah, they just jumped. They were talking real animate about something, and then they jumped. And then they jumped.
Was there a ship?
Yeah.
No ship.
Was there a dog?
No, there was no dog. It was just the two of them talking very animatedly, and then they jumped.
What?
I mean, I don't know. I'm as confused as you are, to be honest.
Kite, come on.
I'm coming.
Oh, before you go, Mad Dog moves over and he goes, as a new membership gift, even though you're unofficial members, and he puts kind of a little bit of a bag into your hand.
Whose hand?
Into Cal's.
Cal takes it. I guess he does a quick cursory look over of what it is.
It's a bunch of random shit. Looks like magic items.
Cal makes a note. We'll identify this later. He stuffs it in his bag of holding.
Oh, there should be user manuals in there actually. I like a good user manual, and I find it's helpful to my gang members. So you should be able to figure all that out.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I think we need to go.
Yeah, we gotta move.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Oh boy.
Where could they have gone? Of all the days for me to have absolutely no contact spells on me, this is the worst one.
Oh gosh. This text
What?
color. I'll look at this later. Cal like racks his brain, like he's doing the Winnie the Pooh think.
Uglos is following y'all, and as you make your way to the port, he goes, "They went that way," and he points off in the direction they went.
Cal goes, Farv? Maybe they want to go see Farv. Why would they go to see Farv?
We might know something.
I think with both of your passive perceptions, you also see that the ship is gone.
Where's Helm?
Cal tries to
Helm?
reach out telepathically to Helm.
Helm!
No
He
response.
does, however, only have a 120-foot range. Yeah, great. Cool.
Helm! Kite's calling for Helm like he's a lost dog.
Kite.
You get, you get no response, Kite, as you shout into the sea.
Yeah, Cal's just like, he's not in range. Kite. Alright, come on. We gotta catch up to the other two.
Okay. I mean, that should be easy enough.
Cal's going to switch his psychic focus to celerity, which is going to increase his movement speed by +10. And he's going to take off and just like in a gust of wind shoots off of the like dock.
Hell yeah.
Kite is right behind him.
Beautiful. Yeah, we cut back over to to Kite and Cal, or sorry, to Lex and Lance. The double letter
The
names
alliterative,
is
yeah.
just throwing me off. So
You make a great team.
we cut back over to Lex and Lance. Bang, 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 bang. You are knocking very hard on, or sorry, you get to Favre's engineering bay. I don't want to say how you're doing this. How do you approach?
Lux wants to try to
Just
fucking...
the front entrance, for sure.
The front entrance? Is there a window?
Sure.
Is there a window next to his counter?
Specific.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
Where I
Right.
could hide and climb in through the window.
Oh well, the window is like I'm picturing like a plate glass window.
Damn it. You know
Okay.
what? Fine. We'll go through the front door. We'll go through the front door. It's fine.
Walking up to the door, you find that the engineering bay is closed.
He's not there.
I didn't say that.
The engineering bay is closed. Like
Yeah.
the door's locked?
Yeah, the door is shut, locked, and you see that there is a close sign in the window.
Okay, Lex is gonna say, I'm breaking the window.
Wait. Lady, could you talk to the garage and see if anyone is here?
Lex just with a rock in her hand, like
Yeah,
she's
but, like,
ready.
yeah, lady nods, jumps down, and walks up, puts a hand on the doorway. She glows a little bit, and she like telepathically communicates to you that there is somebody inside. You get the sense that Favre is definitely home.
For sure.
I go in the
Lux,
window
do you pick locks? Come on, please. I just need to talk to this guy.
Again,
Can you just-
raises the rock again, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know you can pick locks. I have thieves' tools as well. I'll pick the lock.
now. No, I can do it. She only wants to
Okay.
do it.
Oh my gosh.
Still fighting for control after all this time.
So you could give the help action if you'd like, Lance, even if she's like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, you can help. Oh, sorry, I just saw this thing that. Oh. Okay. Anyway, I can't look at that right now. All right. Anyway, you want me to do
Everyone's
what? Like,
getting messages.
like sleight of hand?
Ooh, yeah, go ahead and roll slide. Do you have proficiency or expertise in these tools?
You know, probably. I don't. I think when I first made this sheet, I fucked it up a little bit. Oh my god, I should have proficiency in these tools. I don't have anything listed except Disguise Kit and my proficiency and custom skills, so... Wait. But I did try to pick a lock before.
I'm gonna say if you don't have thieves tools written down as proficiency or expertise, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check with advantage.
Okay, with advantage? Alright. 2 21s.
Nice.
30.
The lock clicks open. You get the sense that it may have been easier than it should have been, as like a unseen fractaline hand kind of twists the inner mechanism and tweaks open.
Did you do that?
I didn't, but Lady was helping.
Lady didn't do that either. She looks up at you and shakes her head.
Oh.
Interesting. I'll open the door.
Where is it?
Barb, I just want to talk. I'm not mad. I just need to find my ship.
Lux is gonna hide.
Go ahead and make me a stealth check.
Okay.
Favre comes like around the corner. He's got like grease on his hands. And
23.
Nice. And the wind, Lux quickly ducks down behind the counter. Favre goes, all right, well, fine. I figured if you wanted to come in and kill me, you probably wouldn't have announced yourself. So, what is it that you want? I don't have your ship.
I need to find the Pixies.
The Pixies? Why do you need to find the Pixies?
You were just talking about how you had hired some of the Pixies.
I know, but why do you need to find the Pixies?
Because they lifted my ship.
Can Lux go behind him? Can Lux sneak up behind him and put a knife to his throat?
No, before that happens, I'm gonna go, they stole my ship and my friend's dog. And I point to Lux.
Who's right behind him with the knife?
Yeah.
Can I just point something out above table?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this motherfucker just said I don't have your ship.
Yes, but he knows where the Pixies are. That's the important part.
How did he know that we lost
how did he know
ship?
that we lost our ship before you said something?
When I called out, I said I need to find my ship.
He did say it.
I don't trust him.
Sure, sure.
That is also a valid response. Favre goes, yeah, I don't want to mess with the Dawn. That guy, while an idiot, is very scary. Well, more annoying. Scary, annoying.
You know how much trouble I just got for interfering with a pretty big experiment? Favre, there is a very important piece of tech that I am personally looking into for Perler. I need the ship back.
Go ahead and make me an intimidation check with advantage.
Lux is like still holding that fucking dagger.
Well, he seems almost nonplussed by you.
Oh my god.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You see, he's not scared of you, Lux, but you see, as Lance, as you mentioned, I'm on a personal mission for Perler right now that I'm looking into. You see the color drain from his face, and he goes, you can find the Court of the Dawning. That's what Dawn Sider calls him and his goons. You can find them over in the Valheaven district, and he gives you directions. Now, their base, it looks like just a regular asteroid. It's real easy to miss. But if they coat all their entrances in illusions, so if you got a sharp enough eye, you can make your way in. However, I've heard that not all those entrances are the real ones, so you gotta pick and choose real carefully.
Of course, fucking Eldeath. Okay, Thank you. I want you to know that I have thought about what happened earlier this evening, and I've decided I'm not mad. And I hope that you have a good day. We are leaving, right, Lux?
She puts her dagger away and just
Thank you.
follows Lance. And but she does glare Farv with one eye.
How does he feel about that goodbye?
He will say, I think he'll just kind of like stonily like look at you, and he'll like nod and not say another word as you walk out. He will follow you out the door too, and like relock the door as you
Fucking
go.
of course.
Just as
Just
you
like
walk,
shadow boxing the air as we're flying through the astral sea. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's been a very long night for me, Lux. It's been a
What?
very long couple of days.
What? You are really out of it.
Oh,
What do I want to know? Where did
listen. I have an update for you. I've only told Kite so far because I just got this news right before I met up with you guys. I essentially got pulled into disciplinary action because we let the Yggdrasti go, and that was a Mandelbrot ship, and they intentionally had the Yggdrasti there, so I like fucked up their experiment. There's a lot there to unpack for me, but that doesn't really matter. Basically, I have to go find a replacement energy source, and it would be cool if you wanted to come join me so I don't have to do this by myself. But Timbo,
yeah.
thinking back to where I found the fridge, did that line up with where the weird sort of gravity bend was happening in the map?
Not exactly. The weird gravity bend that was happening in the map was happening in like the lit up side of, in the daytime side of the Founders Ward district.
Like maybe over in the Valheaven area?
No, it is definitely in the Founders Ward.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I think that there's something here in the area that we can use as a suitable replacement so we don't have to go hunt down the Yggdrasti, because I have a lot of moral problems with that. In addition to just thinking it would be a bad idea in the first place. But currently that's the newest sort of flaming bag of dog shit that we've stepped into.
So it sounds like you are also on probation. If I'll help you find a new energy source, if you help me get to an outpost I need to take care of.
You're on probation?
It feels like it.
Huh.
It really feels like it. Can't go back to headquarters, so.
This was not to downplay what you're going through, because that does seem like it would be very bad for you, because I know this is a big thing for you. This felt like, in a strange way, despite the fact that it was like a pretty big deal from what I understand, it felt more like a slap on the wrist. I think part of that is like just generally the way that I approach life, but also I think that, I don't know, there's something interesting about the sort of lead scientist who is helping kind of organize my tribunal hearing. But anyway, that's not important. I just have a list of persons of interest that he has put himself on. Cool. I think we should go find people. I think Kite is mad at me for leaving. I think he's not mad at me for leaving, but like he is upset at me for leaving. You know?
Like, well, you mean just like leaving to go to where you just were?
Well, it was like I was just going out for like a couple of drinks, but then I was like gone, you know? And like that feels bad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's very happy with me. He was.
And you know, I try not to get too upset about it. Kids have he's had a hard time, you know. His family's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I get it. It's
Yeah.
weird going from a fucked up family into just a big old multi-system sort of galaxy where, although that still matters, it also doesn't matter in a really real way, which is weird.
I think
Do
when
you have weird family things?
fuck. I think when Lance says that, I think Lex starts to get like weird flashbacks again. Just like images again of that woman looking out the watching somebody leave. That looks like maybe a 18-year-old girl walk away from a door. Hiding outside, watching, like from her own perspective, watching, waiting for something.
I'll take your silence as a yes, but I won't probe.
I don't have family. I don't have family.
It sounds like you're trying to convince yourself of that. But, like I said, I won't probe. That might have been a little too forward. Anyway, I think we're nearly back to the dock.
So okay, so y'all went back to the Shambling Hound's dock.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that y'all arrive at the dock edge just as Kite and Cal are stepping out. And so you see the two of them kind of float around, Kite and Cal, you see the two of them kind of float around from the far side of an asteroid outpost, and you see them floating back over.
What the fuck is wrong with these two?
What? I think Kite is very quickly like, excuse me, you two. Helm is missing. And you two didn't think to come and get us?
There's no Itzel either. You two make someone want to rip their whiskers out. I mean,
We were
turn a phrase.
investigating.
Yeah, Kite is looking at Cal very strangely.
We were just doing a little bit of looking around, finding information.
Without telling us.
It was
You
just
didn't-
a
you
run
didn't think that
over
maybe
to
you should come
Far's
grab us?
workshop. We went around the block.
You know,
Plus, we were able to figure out where the ship probably is, and Itzel, more importantly. We think we know where they are.
I care about Itzel. I really do. But Helm... You know what? It's fine. We don't need to do this right now.
Oh, are we sure we don't need to do this right now?
Cal's not saying anything else, but you can like feel like the wind pressure has changed.
In my
we've
direction?
No, not like in Kite's direction, just like everybody's
Okay.
general direction. Like if you felt a breeze before, it's like a gust.
Just saying, it feels like we might be doing this now either way.
I'm just... Helm is so much to lose. What if the Pixies figure out what Helm is?
What if they already have?
I would say I think that ship has already sailed in a quite literal sense.
Oh, you think you're so fucking cute, don't you?
Thank you.
Kite is just rubbing his temples. And he's like, it's fine. Let's just go get Helm and Itzel back, please. Now.
Certainly.
Jesus fucking gosh.
As they're talking and yelling at each other and just like arguing about what's happening, I think at this moment. It all sounds kind of like there's just like a kind of a ring in Lux's ears, like a little ringing, and you know how like when you stand up too fast and everything kind of sounds fuzzy, and there's just like a ringing sometimes, and I think that's what she's feeling right now. She's just like quiet, just standing there while they talk, and then she's just like, we have to find that one pixie that's in charge of them all.
Of course we do.
What was it? Dawn.
Cider.
Cider. Cozy.
It's fine. I'm fine.
So we'll need to go to the Valheaven district.
Yes, we need to go there. It's supposed to look like an asteroid.
There's
Kite
lots
doesn't
of...
wait, he just starts going.
So does Cal.
Perfect. Yeah, y'all step off the port and begin to float off in that direction. So y'all float on for a little bit of time. The market is still, it's busy at all hours, but you are floating on over, and you come to the location where Far suggested, and as stated, it is just a blank asteroid. It doesn't even appear to have anything like in it, like it doesn't like it or carved into it. It just is literally floating there.
Does anyone have some sort of true sight or some similar magic?
Yeah.
No.
Cal's gonna perceive the unseen. He's gonna take like a cursory scan of the entire asteroid. Perceive the unseen is going to give him the ability to see auras even of invisible or hidden creatures.
Okay.
So he can see all creatures, including hidden and invisible ones, regardless of lighting condition.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a perception check as you activate Perceive the Unseen and begin to scan the exterior of the asteroid.
That's a 15.
Anybody else is free to make perception checks as well as you are looking.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm gonna give you that
26.
21. Oh, nice, 26. I'm gonna give you that 21 as well, Dom, because of the Perceive the Unseen.
Cool. Yay.
Kite's not. No. He's too mad. He doesn't see anything.
Or 13.
Okay.
Kite is so relatable.
With the 13, 21, and 26, so we'll start with the 13. Lance, I think you see a opening, it like glistening, the illusory shade comes off of it, and you see it. You're fairly used to this kind of thing, especially with Memnor and how a lot of they use a lot of illusions and such for their magic, right? Sure. So this is like very you're able to see through it, and you see an opening in the bottom right hand corner of the asteroid. Cal, you see two openings. One of them you see is on the basically the opposite side of the asteroid that Lance had picked up on. This one, you do see there are a few life signatures kind of inside of it, seemingly waiting, almost as if on watch. This one did not get put onto the right layer. Okay, I'm just gonna fix that real quick. And Cal, you also see that at the base of the asteroid, where it would be the South Pole, basically, you see is almost like a chute where garbage is and effluvial grime is kind of being dumped out. And it is at the bottom over here.
Cal is going to relay what he has gleaned to the rest of the party.
And Lux, as your keen eyes are looking for any entrance, you clock those openings, but your eyes are brought to the backside of the asteroid, which you see is also has like a little bit of an opening as well.
Okay.
This one on the backside, that one is like very tucked away.
Okay. There's a more discreet entrance in the back.
I think that's a good idea for this situation.
Yeah.
Oh. They're just so.
Kite will follow towards the more discreet entrance.
Yeah, Cal's gonna float that way as well.
Yeah, y'all float on over that direction, bumping into it, and you see that it almost appears to be like a natural crack in the asteroid that has been like widened before having that illusory coat placed on top of it. And you see it's fine, kind of a tight squeeze, but you're able to, if you wanted, you think you could be able to push yourself in.
Who wants to go first?
I can, if you want, I can go in and scout.
That's probably a good idea.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, so Lux, you squeeze on into the tight passage.
Uh-huh.
All right. As you are doing so, what does it look like? How is Lux approaching this situation? Is she just going for it? Is she keeping eyes out? What is she moving sneakily? What's she thinking?
Yeah, she's gonna try to like hide and keep to the shadows if she can. If there are any kind of shadows to stick to, she's going to be looking for pathways, entrances, people, anything of interest, really. Dust, pixie
sure.
dust,
Okay.
all of the above.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make me a stealth check and make me a perception check as you are sneaking.
Okay. Perception and stealth. I broke my sheet. Hold on. Okay, 25 perception, 13 stealth. Can I use knowledge from a past life to reroll the stealth, or to the
To add the dice to the stealth?
Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so it's gonna be roll a d6. Okay, so that's an 18 instead.
18, nice. So with the 25 perception, as you are making your way through this corridor, you recognize that gravity has like reasserted itself and pulled you to the floor of this crack that you've squeezed through. You realize you're about midway through, and you are about to step forward when you look down at the floor, and you realize that there is a small pressure plate that has been basically planted in this walkway. You were like literally just about to step on it when you catch yourself. What do you do?
Can I disarm it or try to?
Yeah, go ahead and make me a sleight of hand check.
Okay. 19.
19. Yeah, you find that you're able, you pinion like the wire that the trap is connected to and make it taut, and then you cut it from the pressure plate so it is unable to activate, and you continue forward. You, with the 18 stealth, you stick your head just a little bit out, like maneuvering it just so you have line of sight out of the crack, and you find that the passageway actually opens into a small room. The room itself appears to be a workroom. You see that there are several pixies that appear to be wearing almost like not hazmat style gear, but like kind of laboratory aesthetic, and are working. You see that a lot of them appear to be making glitter dust.
Okay.
I would say also make me another perception check.
Okay. 16.
With a 16, you see Itzel in a cage.
Oh. What's his positioning?
He is like on the far end of the room, kind of near a bunch of other like lab equipment. He appears to be like where they're keeping a bunch of other funny looking creatures too. Like you see a chewinga, a space guppy, you see some other funny things.
Okay. What size is he right now?
He's like not a full blown puppy. He looks like he's trying to be brave, but you see he is like not like newborn puppy, but like little puppy for sure. Like a few months.
Oh, buddy. Okay. Do I notice any more traps from what I can see?
No, it seems like that pressure plate was it.
Okay. Lex is gonna sneak back to come back out of the crack or whatever and like report what she found to the others.
There's a chewinga in there.
Yeah. Guppy and Itzel.
There's a space guppy?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
It's fucked up.
yeah.
So I disarmed a trap already. There's a pressure plate, so they were expecting maybe that people could come in this way. But I think that if we can surprise them, that might be our best option.
I agree. I think that's probably the best plan.
So what would we like to do? Just try to sneak in there and... What is the plan here? Just attack?
That's what I'd do.
Honestly? Yeah.
Kite kind of looks at Cal.
Cal takes a deep breath and then is very suddenly cloaked in air. His hand goes to his thigh. He pulls out his pistol. He cocks the hammer back and he just says, "Let's get this over with."
Okay. How big of a drop was it to like from where Lux was to the room below?
Oh, it's not like a drop. It's kind of like the crack is kind of in a inconspicuous spot in this lab.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought it was below. Weird. Anyway, I wrote down passageway and just. Okay. Anyway, so Lex is gonna say, I can hide and catch one of them by surprise anyway, and like, I don't know. Sneak attack.
If you feel confident.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. Was that to Timbo?
No. It was in character.
Okay. If you feel confident.
Yeah, I do.
Sure.
Kite sort of looks at the group again.
I mean,
You mean?
it's a couple of pixies. I think we can handle it.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Amazing. So it sounds like y'all are sneaking into the crack.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're gonna go ahead and roll a group stealth check here. So everybody roll stealth.
Okay.
Hey, group self.
21.
Stealth, do you say?
Yeah, stealth?
Can I get help from Lady?
Sure.
Can I help them be stealthy also?
No.
I had a 13.
Damn it.
I'm on
Nice,
a roll
Kite.
with these stealth checks.
Thank you.
I don't think I've ever had a good stealth or like any kind of dexterity roll as Lance.
Cal's also going to switch his psychic focus to psionic weapon.
Nice. All right, great. Yeah, so you see in the room there are several of these pixies milling to and fro, and they are seemingly working on generating this glitter dust. It does seem to be like they're doing a different process than you saw Mad Dog's individuals performing, and you. Like all of you get into position, get out of the crack, taking locations in the room, and you all jump out. You get the surprise round. So everybody go ahead and roll for initiative.
Okay.
Incredible.
Nice.
Oh, good.
Broke my sheet. One. Broke my roll 20 window.
Or nor.
Oh no! Hold on, let me refresh the page. I need to refresh
Oh no,
the
Cleo.
page.
R&R clear.
Alright, anyway, let me try this again. Okay. 23.
$23 from Luck.
Yeah.
Oh,
Holy cow. 25 from Gal.
We're
Holy
all
cow.
right up there.
And Kai with the 19.
Wow.
No, Kite had a 21.
I had a 21. Lance
You're
had
all
a
feeling
19.
The
very
19 was the
strongly
stealth
about
check.
this.
Oh.
Listen, Cal's been annoyed all day.
Yeah.
Everyone's just being really chaotic. If we could calm down for 5 seconds.
If we could just
Absolutely not.
maybe communicate with each other effectively for 5 fucking minutes.
All right, amazing. So you guys bust out. You immediately see that there are about 6 or so of these kind of lackey pixies kind of milling about, kind of doing this job, who are immediately surprised. And there is one kind of bigger pixie who looks a little strapped. They are all shocked, but you see this bigger pixie, his eyes immediately dart towards a big red button on the far wall.
How
Ooh.
far is that larger pixie from me?
They are all about 60 feet, the room is like a bit smaller. It's only about like a 40 foot by 40 foot room. So they are like easily within like 30 feet of you. Cal, you are going to go first.
Big pixie. Cal is going to... He's going to take a shot at them.
Hell yeah,
Just
roll the
right
hit.
off rip. Oh no, that's a 12. That's
A
not
12
good.
just misses as the pixie is just able to duck down.
That's rough. Surge of action, so I'm going to spend 5 side points to go ahead and take another shot at him. Hit is a 25 hit.
25 definitely hits. Go ahead. So 13.
That's 13 damage. Just bang.
Nice. Using the miss of the shot, you just like track your gun down to where he's going to be and pull the trigger, and the bullet hits its mark for 13 points of damage against this pixie, who just immediately like reels backwards from the gunshot. Excellent. Anything else for Cal?
That is going to be the end of Cal's turn.
Perfect. That's going to be Lux.
Okay, I'm assuming that... Can Lux still be hiding at the start of this?
Yeah, you're in a surprise round right now, so...
Okay, cool.
You are hidden.
Okay. How far away is she from the... Looking at the button.
From the big pixie?
Yeah.
About 40 feet as well. Y'all are about fairly next to each other. Or 30 feet or so.
30 feet?
Yeah, you're about 30 feet away from the big pixie.
Okay, so I'm going to go the 30 feet to the pixie. And I'm going to hit with a... What did I do to my sheet? Okay, anyway. With my scimitar.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll to hit with advantage because of the surprise round.
Okay. 16.
A 16 will hit the big fairy. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay.
Sneak attack.
Yeah. So that's 21 total?
21 total. Holy crap.
Is she mad?
Describe your kill.
Lex is going to...
You just fucking John Wick this dude.
Yeah. How big is this pixie, by the way?
He's not
Like
that
how-
tall. He's like his head comes to about your stomach.
Okay. So she's gonna...
Older than Lux.
Yeah. She is going to so she sneaks up behind him as he's looking at the button. And she uses the scimitar to just stab right through his neck and yank it out as he falls to the ground.
Fuck yeah. Thwack, and then flick, and the head just comes loose from the neck as he falls, the blade doing all the work. And his head just goes tumbling off, decapitated.
Jesus Christ.
Itzel sees this happen, and he barks excitedly at you.
She's like, just 1 minute, buddy. I'm gonna get you out of here.
Amazing. Anything else?
No. She's gonna, can I bonus hide?
Sure. Go ahead and make that stealth check.
Okay. 12.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. You kind of tumble back behind some of the desks, attempting to break line of sight from the remaining lackeys. Excellent.
Okay.
That is going to make it Kite's turn. There are about half a dozen or so of these lackeys who are just like stood there shocked. What do you do?
Well, he's pretty mad. So I think he's gonna pulse wave them. Oh, I was gonna roll that. We'll just go with that roll.
Holy cow. Okay. Is this a save or half?
Let me double check. Yeah. Save or half.
These guys
Also-
have less hit points than they would be able to survive that half. So what does it look like as Kite kills all of these lackeys in one shot?
Wow.
Oh no! Kite takes 2 steps forward, kind of in the opposite direction that he saw Lux duck down into. And he whips out his wand, pulling a pearl into his hand as a kind of focus as he flips the wand around and draws a rune in the air, which creates this like brief moment of silence before a and there's a, you know, the cone spreads out among all of these pixies, knocking them all down. Anyone who fails goes flying, so they all go flying too, and they hit the wall of the area that we're in and just are lifeless on the ground, bludgeoned.
Wow.
Yeah, more than half of them fail. So like 4 of their bodies just go flying into the walls, just immediately
Wow.
get gibbed, and just making this absolute ruckus as they are just thrashed, wiping them all off. Excellent. Anything more for Kite as he finishes the pixies in this room?
He's going to look around to see if there's another entrance or exit in this room, but that's all he's doing. He's like looking around for the next place to go.
Absolutely. Going to make me a perception check.
Yeah. Oh my god. 15.
15. You see that there are 2 very obvious entrances. There is one that appears to be kind of like going down a little bit, going almost into a lower chamber, spatially. Like you could feel like it kind of like is a downhill slope. The other one is another hallway that leads out into a more level area, which appears to go towards the center of the asteroid.
Okay. Okay, cool. Noted. That's all he's doing.
All right, great. That is going to make it Lance's turn. We are going to stay in initiative in this moment because there's other stuff going on. So everybody in this room though is dead.
But this is the room that had the space guppy and the Chewinga and its all. I know Lux will want to handle Itzel, so I'll go work on the Astral Chewinga, and if I can, get the Space Guppy open. But right now, first I'm going to focus on the Chewinga.
Hell yeah. Go. How do you open the cage? It seems to be locked.
That's a great question. I accidentally just closed my character sheet. An important thing that I need to help answer your question. I don't think I have knock. Find out. Spells. Locked magically?
No, it's just with a normal lockpick.
Okay, perfect. Pardon me, I need to sneeze.
Can I help, Lance?
Can when it gets to your turn. I'm just because we're in initiative still.
Got it.
I do have lockpicking proficiency. So I think I'll just try and pick out some thieves' tool.
Sure, yeah. Go ahead and make that lockpicking check.
So is that dexterity and proficiency?
Yeah, dexterity and proficiency. Basically like a sleight of hand check.
Okay. Okay, so we'll be adding a 2 to this then. Well, that was not great. Could Lady have helped me?
Sure, yeah. I think a lady can definitely help you in that.
Better. That's a 13.
13. These locks are not that complicated. They're fairly simple locks to keep like an animal in a cage. So you are able to get it open with a little bit of lady's prodding. Which cage did you open?
The Chewinga's cage.
Yeah, the Chewinga immediately leaps out of the cage and just starts to sprint. It tries to get out.
That's fair. It knows where it's going. And would that have been my action?
Yeah, I'm gonna say picking the lock would have been your action.
Okay. In that case, I'll head over to the Astral Guppy cage, but hang out till in my turn there.
Perfect. That's gonna make it Cal's turn.
Cal's going to. You said there were 2 other exits, correct?
Those are what Kite picked up on. Yes.
And where are those located again?
Either they're kind of like one of them is going down into the ground a little bit, so kind of subterranean, and the other one is going off on the same level, kind of deeper into the asteroid. You can also make a perception check as well if you'd like.
Sure, I'll make a perception check. Little percepty boy.
Check your perception before.
That's an
for me.
11.
Yeah, you do not see any additional entrances or exits from this space. Just those 2 obvious ones.
Cal is going to post up next to the entrance that runs laterally deeper into the asteroid, just to make sure nobody else is coming from that direction.
Absolutely. All right. Do you ready in action to fire if you do see somebody?
He's going to ready in action to do something else.
Okay, what?
He's going to ready in action to send just a big old 60-foot stream of wind down that hallway.
Oh, nice. I love that. Hell yeah. All right, great. That is going to make it Lex's turn.
Okay, while hiding, Lex is going to go over to Itzel's cage and attempt to unlock it.
Yeah, go ahead and make that lockpicking check or sleight of hand.
18.
Oh yeah, again, very easy lock. The lock pops open and Itzel immediately jumps at you in his tiny dog form, licking your face very excitedly, making that excited puppy squeal noise.
Lex catches him in her arms, and the corner, you can't see under her mask, but the corner of her mouth kind of turns up in a sort of smile, and she takes a minute to just hug Itzel for a second and put the collar back on him and head over to the doors. She would have to do a perception check later, right?
You can do a perception check now, but the two doors that have already been mentioned, those are fairly obvious.
Okay, so could I do a perception check for the other doors?
Yeah, sure. To see if
or any other entrances or vents or something.
Absolutely, go ahead.
Okay. With Itzel's help, can I have the 22?
Sure, we'll say that.
Okay.
Itzel, you do see that there is a vent directly above the lateral door, the one leading deeper into the asteroid. But you also see Itzel kind of bites onto your high boot and kind of pulling you and directing your attention. And you look around the corner, you see what initially it looked like a refrigeration unit, kind of similar to what the other ones in this space. You see that there is almost a latch that has been flipped down from it, and you see a pair of eyes looking at you, and then you see the latch flip back up.
What the hell? You said it looks like a refrigerator with a latch, and there was eyes from the refrigerator looking at me?
Yes.
Jesus.
It would have been your action to pick the lock, but you still have an item interaction left.
Oh. Fuck. If she's gonna open it because Itzel brought her over there, so she's gonna open.
As you open the door with a psh, you see inside is a small, well-maintained, well-manicured office, but standing there at the attempting to hide underneath his desk, you see a large, portly looking pixie with balding hair and a monocle, who is just on his hands and knees, seemingly trying to tuck himself under his desk as you have busted in on him in his cowardice. And I think that is where we're going to call it for this week.
Wow.
Oh.
I'm also going to say you definitely recognize this guy is Don Sider.
Okay, yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out this week. Thank you to all the lurkers, chatters, everybody hanging out. We are going to be alive again in 2 weeks with the thrilling conclusion of the Glitterdust War. Who knows what's going to happen?
Who can never be sure?
We went John Wick so hard.
Yeah.
We did.
First group of Pixies.
Did not expect that.
Kite's racking up quite the body count.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
he
is.
is. He is.
He doesn't have. Well, it's fine. It'll be
Okay.
fine.
that encounter was great. I love that. All right, amazing. Before we end though for tonight, I would love to give my party the opportunity to talk about where you can find them when they're not playing on this lovely game. Werewolf, why don't you take us away?
Hi. My name is Werewolf BF. I use they, them pronouns, just as a reminder. And you can find me here every Sunday for either of Timbo's streamed campaign, the games that Timbo DMs streamed on this channel. And basically everywhere else is Werewolf BF. That's where is in the question, wolf is in the animals, and the letter B and F.
Beautiful. Next we have Galaxy.
Hi, I'm Galaxy. You can find me at most places at GalaxyBot. Galaxy is always spelled with an IE for me. And then also, if you are interested and you're a fantasy reader, my book is coming out. It's called Feathers of Dawn. You can find out more information at feathersofdawn.com. So there's that as well.
Yes, book title announcement. Yeah.
Thank you. No, I'm red.
Yes. Love to give it as good as I get it. All right, Rach.
Hi, I'm RaichQ. I've been Lux today, and every other Sunday here. I love Doki Doki Meow Meow on Sigil Community College as a guest, and you can find me streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/RaichQ, and you can find me posting stupid shit on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Threads sometimes. So there you go.
Perfect. We're really all out here collecting fucking every single social media site like the goddamn Infinity Stones at this point.
Right? Jesus.
Yeah.
Amazing. And last but certainly not least, we have Domino.
I've been Domino RBG playing Cal. You can catch me on Twitter or Blue Sky at Domino RBG, and you can also catch me as a recurring guest on Sigil Community College on Wednesdays.
Perfect.
Right here.
7 p.m. EST. And that's going to be this next upcoming week, 7 p.m. EST, Wednesday. I have no idea what's going to happen. It's going to be wild. But thank you again, everybody, for being here. We're going to go ahead and right into the Zimixter, who is doing a really cool, they're doing Hunger Games as a tabletop thing, which is really neat. So we're going to go get
Sick.
Oh, it looks like they've disabled raids. Son of a bitch. All right. What can you do?
Still check them out.
Still check them out.
Check them out.
Let's go ahead and raid on over into Dice Legends then. Here we go. But yeah, thank you again, everybody. We're going to be alive in 2 weeks with the next episode of Tales of the Riot Nexus, and we've got Sigil Community College this week. Till then, stay magical.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.